Yes, people, welcome to LRFC. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscription button, notification button, and like button, all that good stuff, and get busy in the comments as well. Yes, I'm doing this on a regular basis again, and you can see like I'm doing it 3 days in a row now. I've got a special guest, a Liverpudlian, someone that's a legend on the Liverpool scene who I learned a lot from. I've been supporting Liverpool all my life, but I always talk about certain things, and this guy is one of the people that I actually learned from along the years. So let me bring him in, and we can chat about Liverpool, obviously about the Premier League, the previous game, PGMOL, and all that stuff. So let me bring him in. Let's bring him in right now. What's going on, Frank? How are you, sir?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Thanks for the introduction, by the way.
Tell people who you are, Frank. I want people to know who you are, mate. And I already know who you are. I know I've known about you for years and years. I've learned a lot from you in regards to the history of the football club, and yeah, I just want people to know who you are. Obviously, you got your own YouTube channel now, and you're all over social media. I think you just joined X recently as well.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember you from Facebook, like as we spoke earlier about as well. So yeah, just let people know who you are, sir.
Well, I'm a PhD, retired lecturer of history, and I know a lot about my own city, Liverpool. I'm a big nerd. I've made lots of DVDs, not about Liverpool Football Club, but about Liverpool the city, the history of it. I've made, I think, six or something like that.
Wow.
And lots of people look at it, and I still go on the telly quite a lot. You know, it was only on last week or the week before. I'm not quite. No, last week it was
Mm.
uh, for Channel 5 talking about Charles Dickens when he
Wow.
came to Liverpool. You know, so that's what I am. But I'm an avid red. I'm like yourself. I embrace everybody, every red that around the world. I
Yeah.
embrace them, and it's not only Scousers, like my good
Hmm.
self. It's everybody, and I just embrace them, but because they're fantastic. I'll
Yeah.
tell you, my daughter was at the game.
Mhm.
She was at the game the other week.
Yeah.
I think it was against Brentford or someone, and she was in the Anfield Road and stand, and there was six Japanese sitting in front of her. Now
Wow.
you'd imagine, you'd imagine she'd they'd have Enzo on the back, and
Yeah.
they didn't. The six of them had slabos, like crazy,
That's
isn't it?
brilliant. Yeah, you we was discussing something off screen, like about the fans, Frank. I said like from my generation to your generation, like what has changed? What like in the fan base? Why are we different? Why are we like so? Like we used to be together back in the day. We used to understand each other and everything like that. Even if you're not from Liverpool, you understand the fans from Liverpool, and you're willing to learn. You know what I mean? You're willing to sit in the stands at Anfield and learn about Liverpool Football Club and the people from Liverpool. What has changed since then? Like, why are we so different to what we used to be?
Well, see, different generations, like
Hmm.
myself, I even go back to the Shankly days. I
Yeah,
go back, and then right up, right through, Bob Paisley, Fagan,
yeah.
Kenny, right up to the likes of Hodgson. Shall
Mhm.
we mention him?
Uh,
And,
it's
Rogers,
tough. That,
go back
to be
to him.
honest, Frank, that's the only time I used to get tickets, so we can't mention him.
But anyway, see, as I said, you just get different generations. And I seen the change, believe it or not.
Mm,
Fozzie. I seen the change in the 2005
yeah,
uh, Champions League final in Istanbul.
yeah.
And I was there, and what got me was
Hmm.
at half time. And, 3 nil down.
Yeah.
Uh, and we were standing there, but we were determined, and we were saying around,
Mm,
saying, even if we score one or two goals, let's not go out embarrassing.
yeah.
but what we seen was these people, Liverpool supporters, leave, and we were shouting at them, "Get back here!"
Yeah.
Support their heads till the final whistle. Get back, and that was disgusting. So I seen that change and the difference it made from when I go back to my generation.
Yeah.
It was totally different. But now you're seeing another crop of difference again. They differentiate from the likes of from 2005, big difference, to now. And when Klopp took over, so you have these fans, new fans I'm talking about, Fuzzy.
Yeah.
You have these fans who all of a sudden, Klopp's become a phenomenon,
Yeah.
a phenomenon in the eyes of younger supporters. And I'm talking about from all around the globe. So now, with Liverpool winning the Champions League, with Liverpool winning the Premiership after 30 years, we've won everything under Klopp. We've won absolutely everything. And so you get this different type of fan, unfortunately, and we're not really connecting with each other. We're not really connecting with each other, and that's the sad thing, because there's lots of arguments, shall I say,
Yeah. I see that a lot.
between people. There's lots of it. People are saying, picking on players, and even
What do you think of that, Frank? Like,
criticising.
people like attacking players personally on social media. Like, we get that a lot now.
Well, that's it. That's another big thing as well. Since 2005, social media, because Liverpool fans, as you know, Fuzzy, were supposed to be the most intelligent, but you
Yeah.
get so many idiots, unfortunately. But the Liverpool fans, nevertheless, but the younger generation, the younger generation.
Yeah, that's what I like. I see people attacking the likes of Henderson when he left and all that stuff. They're saying, "Good riddance, you left, and we're glad you're gone." And I think to myself, are we forgetting like what the player has done for Liverpool Football Club when he was there? You know what I mean? You don't. He might not be the most talented player in the world, but he captained that team that's got us the league in 30 years, and he won the Champions League as well. You know what I mean? So we've never had I don't know how to describe it. We've never had world class players like like someone like Maradona, like Pele, or anything like that. But we had players that give us their all on the pitch. You know what I mean? And that's how I see when I look at that previous, the first stint of Jurgen Klopp's successful era, and the way like people talk about the likes of, like I said, Henderson, and it's not the right way to talk about it. You know what I mean? And he might not have been the player that he was last season, but still, like you fail to understand, he was part of that team that nearly won the quad the season before, that run themselves to the ground. You know what I mean? And that's all he can do. Like this next season, sometimes it could pay off, but it might not pay off because they're tired, and that's what's happened to this poor player last season. And the personal attacks he was getting, it's just not like Liverpool. I don't think, like someone said it. I think someone said it a few weeks ago. He said, Paul Ince said, Liverpool fans, in the stadium, that is, they, even if you're playing badly, they'll still like support you no matter what. You know what I mean? They'll still cheer you on because you're putting on that shirt. And that's what I think we're missing at the moment, and what we need to get back to. Thinking about Liverpool, where we was before Klopp, you know what I mean, under Brendan Rodgers, we was going nowhere. It was awful. You know what I mean? And then this manager bought these players, made these players who are, well, you could say average, into world-class players eventually, didn't he? He made these players into something else, and they won all those competitions. So it shows, like these players, if you give them the support and love, they can walk through the wall for you eventually. And that's what the likes of Henderson, all them did, in my opinion. And they should get the credit they deserve instead of like the abuse they get on social media.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, and I'll tell you for why. When you mentioned Jordan Henderson, and he wasn't the greatest player,
No, we know that.
that to grace the pitch of Liverpool. Uh, but what you had a lad who gave 100%
Hmm.
every single game he played. And he's look as a captain what he's won. He's won a lot.
Yes,
Everything in the game and in the European game, he's won absolutely everything.
everything.
Captain of Liverpool, as a captain of Liverpool, I said. And so that's it. Again, what you've got, and I'm glad you've actually said it, was that we had no world class players, but you had this man, Jurgen Klopp, who brought in the players and collectively he
Hmm.
gelled them.
Yeah.
And this season, what people are forgetting as well, Foz, is that we've got a whole new midfield, a whole new midfield. And at the beginning of the season, I said, once we're gelling, we're only gelling. And once we gel, if they're
Yeah.
good enough, this is at the beginning of the season, I
Exactly.
said, we'll be great. But look at us. And we're
Yeah.
only gelling.
It's
We're only
crazy.
gelling now. So
It's
you can
crazy.
imagine what the future holds for Liverpool and for the
Hmm.
new manager who comes in, by the way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're gonna go to that eventually. Yeah, that's what I wanted to discuss. Thanks for letting me letting the people know about what's changed in the fan base, because I thought like I was seeing something different, and I could be wrong. You know, what I mean? I thought I could be wrong, but I'm glad that you brought it up and cleared like what's changed in the fan base. I don't want to keep talking about them, but like what they need to understand is Liverpool is a different football club. You know what I mean? We we're not that type of fans that's abusive or anything like that. We back our players through thick and thin, especially the players that's done well for us as well. I remember in the 80s, Frank. You remember Ronnie Whelan? Not many people fancied Ronnie Whelan, but look at the impact he had on the pitch. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable, unbelievable. And, one of the most underrated.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but he's never talked about.
No, he's
He's
never
never
talked about.
talked about
Never talked about.
the Irish genius. Yeah, absolutely brilliant he was, Ronnie Wheeler.
Yeah, the only
That goal he
downside was
scored
he was a
against
Man
Man
United
United.
fan. So sorry,
Yeah,
Frank. Sorry.
I'm sorry there. Do you ever remember the goal he scored against Man United in the
Yeah,
Champions Shield?
yeah.
Amazing. He bent it right around, bang, goal, the winner. That was it. It was over.
Did he replace Ray Kennedy? When Ray Kennedy, I think, left, I think Ronnie Whelan replaced him on the left, as I remember. I think that's what
Yeah,
happened.
you're right.
He
No,
took that
you
number
are
5
right.
shirt and he played on the
Ray
left, and then he
Kennedy, yeah.
became a defensive midfielder. And he had that
Yeah.
partnership with um,
He has
what's
it
his
with
name?
Jan Molby as well,
Yeah, Jan Moby and Steve McMahon. Him and Steve McMahon. Everybody thought Steve McMahon was the nasty player, but it was Ronnie Whelan that was the nasty player. People don't know
He
that
was.
back in the day.
He
He
was,
was. He used to
absolutely.
give you that little challenges at the end when the ball's passed and things like that.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember. What a player Ronnie Whelan was. Just yeah, he's underrated. Absolutely underrated. Yeah.
It's only a
hmm?
thing though, for us,
Hmm.
getting back to the fans, that the new set of fans are very impatient.
Yeah.
Since Klopp come, and all of a sudden they're winning, and they're getting to finals, and they're
Yeah.
all made up. They're going to the finals, albeit
Yeah.
that we've been beaten in a few, but
Yeah.
they're enjoying it and they're seeing the success. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, last season, when we were dreadful last season,
Oh, it was
unfortunately,
awful.
and that's when the impatience came from these lads, these new fans.
You got to look at it from a Klopp point of view, Frank. Like, if you look at the season, we won the league, so we fought for the quad and won 2 cups. You look at the players; they were fighting for all trophies, not just one, all the trophies. They played, I think, 62 games or something along those lines, to complete 64 games, I think, to complete football. If those players have done that for you that season, are you going to give up on them the next season, Frank, or are you going to give them another chance and then see how it goes?
Don't forget, Fuzz, I
Hmm.
waited 30 years for the Premiership,
Same here. Yeah.
so that I'm not saying that's patience.
Hmm.
We're just like, we wait. We wait because we know that we're going to become good. We
Yeah.
knew that. We
Yeah.
knew that. And in 2001, with Julia, you know, and he won those 5 trophies in one
Yeah.
season. And people forget about that,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. And I'll tell you another thing about biasness, really,
Hmm.
is Joe Fagan in 1984, he won a treble.
Yeah, people
And
don't know that.
he never gets mentioned. It never gets
No,
mentioned. It's always Ferguson won the first ever treble. He
hmm,
didn't. It was Joe Fagan, and
exactly,
this is what gets me. But they're saying, "Oh, yeah, but you won the League Cup and we won the FA Cup for the treble." Like, it doesn't matter. It's a treble, nevertheless.
exactly. It's entitlement, and it's that self entitlement. That is Man United. They only see it what they see, and people follow that. You know what I mean? And we know we won the first treble. We know Joe Fagan did that. You know what I mean? And it's that's the most important thing to me. As long as Liverpool fans, they know who did that. You know what I mean? First, it wasn't Man United. It was Liverpool Football Club, and then you look at Paisley and Ferguson. You look at Paisley. I think he was there for 9 years, 6 league titles, 3 European Cups, back to back, by the way, and he won, I think, cups here and there, like the Milk Cup and that. So if you look at that record in that many years compared to Ferguson's 30 years, whatever it is, why isn't Bob Paisley talked about in the same way?
It's an Bob Paisley had the greatest ever team, and we were there. We were enjoying the success and everything else of this fantastic team that Paisley had, and he was the only manager to win 3 European Cups. Now, don't forget, you have to be champions of your
Exactly.
country, and he won 3 European Cups. He was the only manager, to be honest, who won 3 European Cups
Still
with the
now, yeah.
one
I
club.
think still
With the
now, yeah.
one club.
Hmm.
That's how good he was. The only thing he never won was the FA Cup, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. But Bob Paisley had the greatest team ever, in my opinion. And everyone, I said to Kenny, I was
Hmm.
at a function and it was in the cathedral. Anyway, I was
Hmm.
chatting to him. And I said, Kenny, I was talking about Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
And I said, Steven Gerrard dragged Liverpool because he had no one around him until the likes of Xabi
How do you
Alonso
how do
came
you how
and
do you rate him,
Gerrard.
Frank? How do you rate Steven Gerrard, like compared to the greatest players that ever lived? You know what I mean? I'm not a Steven Gerrard guy, innit? I'm from the 80s, but how do you rate him as a player? Where does
Steven
he
Gerrard,
get into the like all-time great Liverpool teams?
yeah, absolutely. Steven Gerrard, even Zinedine Zidane said, I would have
Hmm.
loved to have played alongside. Now, he was playing at the time, by the way, and
Hmm.
this is when he was at his peak.
Yeah.
And Zidane said, I'd love to be in the same side as Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
He's one of the most fantastic midfielders I've ever seen. He's got everything to his game. He
Yeah.
can tackle, he can shoot, he scores goals. His
Hmm.
passing is incredible. And this is what Zidane was saying.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, you do have. I thought Steven Gerrard. Can I put it in? Steven Gerrard. I was on LFC TV for a few years, and
Hmm.
I said, we was talking about, the great legends and whatever.
Yeah.
And I said at the time, Stephen was still playing then, I
Mm.
said, as the greatest Liverpool player,
Yeah.
I said, Steven Gerrard has taken over the mantle of Kenny. I said that,
Wow.
because he's known as King Kenny.
Of
And
course.
everybody loves him,
Yeah.
myself, you, everybody.
Mhm.
And I said that Steven Gerrard has taken over his mantle. But,
Mm.
and there's another but, he is the greatest legend, Liverpool legend. He certainly is.
Mhm.
But my little but is the greatest player. I don't know whether you'll agree with this. The greatest player to put a red shirt on was Luis Suarez.
Oh, you know what? I can't even argue with that because even Kenny said it. I remember Kenny saying it. He said if he stayed longer and won a few things with Liverpool, he would have been the greatest that ever lived.
Well, do you know
Technically,
what I was told?
everything. Mm-hmm.
what I was told, and I might surprise you there, when the first time that we really got into the Champions League with Louis, and then he was sold,
Yeah.
he actually begged Rodgers, begged him to keep him so we could play in the Champions League for Liverpool the following season. And he said,
Wow.
no. That's
Wow.
that is 110% fact. And he got rid of him. And he's a Liverpool supporter.
Yeah.
You know, when Xavi was, excuse me, when Xavi was playing for both Bayern and Real Madrid, and you know they'd have like little breaks, Xavi was always seen at Anfield.
Yeah, a lot of fans say that. Yeah.
One of my mates seen him, one of my friends seen him, and they went, "Oh, he's Xavi." Oh, yeah. And what they thought, excuse me, that he was coming back to Liverpool as a player. I forget who he was. He was either with Bayern or Real.
Yeah.
He said, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "I'm a Liverpool supporter." He said,
Wow.
"When I get a break, when I have the opportunity, 48-hour opportunity, I come to Anfield if they're playing." And that's it. And he does, you know, he does come to Anfield quite a lot. Well, you know, not so much now because he's a manager.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that. Like the next manager at Liverpool Football Club. Yeah, Xavi, like you said, he never wanted to leave. Rafa wanted to swap him with Barry. You know what I mean? Gareth Barry from Aston Villa. So, I mean, the relationship broke after that.
Yeah.
Which I didn't understand at all. I didn't understand that. Gareth Barry for Alonso? Really? Oh, you know, that's when Rafa lost their head. You know, he lost his head after that. He wasn't the same manager after that.
Okay, you're saying about Barry. Well, have a guess who came in for Suarez?
Balotelli?
And
Benteke?
Yeah.
It was Balotelli. I remember because we played Tottenham away and Moreno scored that first. You remember he came with a run, Moreno, that left back, and he scored against Spurs away. I remember because Balotelli for free, innit? Suarez gone, Balotelli for free. And that's the way the club works. Oh,
Ricky Lambert, remember?
Because he's a Liverpool fan. We had to get him. He played in the youth. Crazy, Frank. Absolutely crazy. That's what I want to ask you as well, Frank. Like, what do you actually think of FSG? You know, I have my reservations. You know what I mean? I've worked in America. I coach kids down there. I know how their sport works and all that stuff. But, you know, as a Liverpoolian, you know, the way you are around the club and all that, what do you actually think of them as ownerships? Because, you know, some people are on their side, some people are in the middle, and some people are not on their side.
Okay. I'll give you, it's just me. Okay, my opinion. Whether you take this with a pinch of salt or whatever, if FSG would have given Klopp what he needed, and I'm talking about funding instead of buy to sell, because that's their model, buy to sell.
It's an American way.
Right. Well, that's it. That's it. It is the American way. It's a business to them. It's a business.
Yeah.
Anyway, if he would have been given the funding that he really needed, we would have won another, and I'm certain of this, another Premiership, another
100%.
Champions League. But they never gave it. And what fans say as well, and I'm talking about older fans, I've argued with them. And they said, well, look at the new stands, look at the Anfield Road stands, look at the new AXA, you know, facilities up in Kirby, you know, where they train. I went, what's the name of it? What's the name? And they say AXA. I said, yeah, precisely. They've sponsored it.
They are paying for it.
Who do you think paid for the boat stands now? Who do you think? I said, FSG. No. We paid for that. Look at the brands we have. Millions come in. And what got me was the very first, or the end, that LeBron James, I don't know the man. I don't know what he does. I know he's a basketball player or something.
Yeah.
And because he wore, FSG approached him.
Yeah.
I think this is for the American market. So FSG approached him and they gave him 2% of the stake in Liverpool. And the very first financial year, he got £31 million.
Goodness gracious me.
So, how much, just imagine you and I having like a little 3%.
Exactly.
We'd be millionaires. We'd be talking on yachts now.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I want to allude to what you said about us winning trophies. If you look at Klopp, imagine he got the players that he wanted in the first place. Imagine like he got Chouamini, he got was it Fekir when he wanted him, because we was one Fekir away winning that league that time. It was the first one, 1 point. I mean, he was the dynamic player that we needed, that could take set pieces, that could see the eye of a needle pass for the likes of Mane and Salah to run through, and Firmino. And imagine them four, as a unit, what we could have done. Do you get what I'm saying? So
you're good, you are good, and you think like me. I was at Anfield, and it was the Tottenham game. The season that we got beat by 1 point.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in the stand, and I'm looking at it. The whistle went 1-1. It was, and I said at the time, Fozzie, I said, do you know what? I said, if FSG would have brought in a midfielder, a creative midfielder, or anybody that could score a goal, they would have scored a goal, and I'm sure that we would have won the league. And that was right after that Tottenham game. Exactly. And we lost. I said that we've lost the league at that time. We should never at Anfield as well, 1-1.
Yeah, 100%.
FSG,
It's not, people think, Frank, like it's a hate. It's not a hate. It's the ambition of the club. Like if you look at Klopp, he could do so much. If if you give him the right players, he could have probably stayed longer. Do you get what I'm saying? But if you keep buying players who are like not up to the standard, and you want them to get to the standard every single season, it's gonna tire a manager out no matter what he does. You know what I mean? And it's understandable why he wants to leave. The player he wanted Bellingham, couldn't get him. Wanted Fekir, couldn't get him. Wanted Chouamini, couldn't get him. So all the players that he wants, they never get for him. So what do you expect a manager to do if you always have to work with the bottom of the barrel players to get them to the world class stage every single time?
Okay. Let's go back to Chouamini. He wanted to come to Liverpool. Now, don't forget, FSG are a business.
Yeah.
They can spin, and they spin it well.
Yeah.
So, let's go back to Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez, I want to go to Barcelona. Right. Chouamini, I want to go to Real. Jude Bellingham, I want to go to Real. Jude Bellingham was here. He was knocking about with Trent. He was knocking about with them because the mates and England mates as well.
Yeah.
But he was knocking about with each other. His family was here. And he was, pre-contract talks, everything. Jude Bellingham was a walk to Liverpool Football Club.
100%.
And the unfortunate thing was that there was no money to buy him. Think about that. No money to buy him. There's LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean, we've got all this money coming in from outside and all that, but nothing is happening. What I've heard, Frank, it was they even made an ultimatum for Jurgen Klopp. They said to him, if you buy Jude Bellingham, there's not going to be another signings. Yeah, I mean, like, because the money will go towards him, wages and all that stuff. So it's going to be impossible to sign other players. So he obviously chose to sign other players other than Bellingham. So if they're giving you ultimatums like that, then what chance have you actually got as a manager, if you know what I mean? Now look at Bellingham, probably going to win the Ballon d'Or very soon, the way he's playing. And we missed out on that, people. That could have been the world-class player that we wanted for years, and now he's gone. He's never come to Liverpool. Let's be realistic here.
Well, the thing is as well, Fozzie, is that Jurgen Klopp was embarrassed by it.
Yeah, he was.
Because he was with he was with his family, he was with the Bellingham family.
Yeah.
And there was lots of spin here by saying, they wanted everything. They wanted houses. They wanted this is the family. And
his dad wanted to be a scout. I think his dad wants to be a scout of Liverpool or something along those lines.
It was a load of, I won't swear on you there.
It's okay, sir.
It was a load of garbage, to be honest. The lads wanted to come here. He's a Liverpool supporter. He loved Liverpool. His family loved Liverpool. They were up here. They were all looking around, everything. Jurgen Klopp really thought that we were going to get him. And I'll tell you another thing as well. If he would have come here, we would have still got McAllister.
Oh, yes, 100%. 100%.
We'd still got McAllister.
Can you imagine that Bellingham, McAllister in that midfield? We could have had that, people. We could have had that. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, Frank, I want to speak about the PGMOL. You know, the season is going on. I believe there's going to be some more stuff happening to Liverpool as we go along. So that's the next thing I want to talk about. So, you know that about the PGMOL, we know Howard Webb is back as
he's the main man.
He's the main man, as we know. Yorkshire, ex-Yorkshire copper, as everybody who don't know. I just want to put it out there. What do you think about the decisions that's happened to us this season, Frank? Because a lot of people don't believe like what I say to them. It's purposely done. And I have to add on to that. There's a reason a team hasn't run away with the league this season as well. If you look at the league this season, points has been close from day one. Each time a team tries to get away, there's always something happening along the way as well.
Absolutely. It's an absolute disgrace. You and I go back to before VAR, right? Before all this nonsense. And what we used to do, you know, you could go home or go to the pub after the game and you're debating.
Yeah.
Say someone I was offside, and he was never offside. He was never offside. You know, never. He was onside. Yeah. You know, you debated it, and it was done. It was over with. But now, where the likes of VAR, my opinion, just saying it, it's corrupt. And you've got fellas who are in the studio miles away.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anyone. They're corrupt. Them. They are corrupt. You've only got to look at Virgil van Dijk getting sent off that time.
Yeah.
They went out to lose that game. You know, for Liverpool to lose that game. Then you had Curtis Jones. Remember getting sent off?
Yeah.
Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
He was nowhere like slow motion or anything like that. It was just a bang, and they showed a straight picture, you know, a still picture where it looked bad, where he was just trying to get the ball, you know, roll the ball.
Yeah.
And so you've got that. You've got only the Bruno the other day when he went in and crunched. You know, stud showing. Referee done nothing.
Nothing at all.
You've got McAllister. Remember McAllister? The penalty. The penalty. You know, the big old chest.
You know what made me laugh about that, Frank? I told people this. I started laughing about the drop ball. I guess Nottingham Forest got more coverage than that, than the actual penalty. Yeah.
The drop ball. That's what I mean. It's a joke. It's a joke. And this is where fans around the country are calling Liverpool
Liverpool.
Liver. Piss off. really pisses me off. I'm sorry to say a thing like that.
No, but it's true. It's true. There's another thing as well. If you look at it, Frank, why are we always getting the same referees in every games that we play? Someone said to me before, one of my friends, Scott, said to me, he said to me, it's the reason they were getting the Manchester referees is because they're close by. Then he saw Anthony Taylor refereeing Arsenal versus Liverpool, and he said, oh yeah, I'll take that back. Yeah, it is a screw job straight away. I said, we're getting Manchester referees all the time. You don't see Manchester United or Man City getting Liverpool referees, you know what I mean? But we seem to get it. Frank, am I wrong? Like in the old days, did Manchester referee Liverpool games? I don't remember. I don't think they did, you know. Well, I can't remember any Manchester referees used to referee in the 90s, you know, and beyond that.
No. They had to come from different parts of the
That's what I thought. Because the rivalry was so, you know, so heated. I don't think they used to allow that because, you know, something could happen, you know what I mean? And now I see more Manchester referees actually referee our games. You got Paul Tierney, you got Anthony Taylor. And Paul Tierney blatantly told Klopp he doesn't like him to his face. And he still, he was out for 6 months and then he came back and refereed our games again. Yeah. I mean, so it shows there's something not right here. And I said it, I told people.
I think that's one of the reasons why Klopp's leaving, you know. There's other reasons, 100%. But I think that's one of the reasons, you know, because he's just so fed up. And he knows that we're being cheated. Yeah. It's like the Spurs game when Lucio was on side. Yeah, that was the most disgraceful decision ever. And look at the other day. Look at the other day when Enzo was penalised. You know when Mo Salah, was it Mo Salah who scored? When he was penalised.
Oh, you're talking about when Van Dijk scored. Van Dijk.
Van Dijk, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the header.
Blocking him.
Yeah.
And it was the referee gave it, but it was VAR who brought them back and said, "Have a look at this." And the same happens only the other day. You know?
Against Man United and Northern Forest, yeah. And it was the same referee. It was actually Chris Kavanagh. It was the same referee that actually refereed the final. The same thing happened at Man United game against Nottingham Forest, but he gave the decisions a goal. You know,
absolutely.
The thing is, Frank, they're doing it blatantly in your face, and you, as a fan, are saying even it's so fat at the end of the season. There's a reason these things happen because they don't want Liverpool to win the league. We know that, Frank. We know that for years. That's why we waited 30 years to not win the league title. When the Premier League came in, it was set up for Man United. We know that. We know that, Frank. You know that. You know that. Liverpool's too dominant in the first division, in the old first division, and not only that. I think the old first division is more competitive than this one because at least you see teams like Nottingham Forest, Derby Counties, Leeds United. They used to win the league titles those days. Everton's. Nowadays, you got about 6 or 7 teams winning consistently. Like it's not competitive anymore.
No,
from what I can see.
I'll tell you another thing as well, which you may agree or disagree, or I don't know. You might. Do you know this? Remember when FSG and Real Madrid and the little clique of them, and they were going to make a European Super League.
Yeah,
that will come back in the next.
100%. I got no doubt about that.
That will come back because it's the greed of money. It is the greed of money.
We've sold ourselves, Frank. We've sold ourselves to the people we shouldn't sell ourselves to, and now it's all coming forward, and we're gonna do things that is out of our hands now. Do you get what I'm saying? Because if you look at the Premier League, I don't know if you noticed, Frank. Like I studied it a bit. 13 teams in the Premier League is American owned. People don't even know that. Yeah. 13 teams in the Premier League is American owned. That's number one. And when teams have to vote, the majority win, don't they? Or something along those lines. So they've got that power now. So if they want a Super League, they can do it if the majority wins the the votes. So people need to start watching these things because our league, our football in this country, it's slowly diminishing and it's becoming something that's. Let me give you an example. We watch football nowadays. Frank, you go to watch Liverpool. I know you do it all the time, all that stuff, yeah? How can you go to a game that you don't celebrate goals?
Exactly. Exactly.
How?
And do you know what it's like? It's like a delay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a delay in anything. No matter what profession you're in,
Mm.
it's a delay.
Yeah.
It's like it's say like a 100 meters race,
Mm.
right? And you get the starter, and
Yeah.
he's got his little gun, and he
Yeah.
fires it. See, you're waiting. You are waiting, and you're delaying. And
Yeah.
some people go first, don't they? And they
Exactly.
could actually be suspended and get dropped out. And
Hmm.
this is the way it is. You cannot celebrate anything with this bar. It's absolutely ridiculous. And that's the sad thing
But
about it.
but Frank, where does it come from? American sports. I mean, they're already trying to do the blue. Was it the blue card now?
Yeah,
Simbin. Where does that come from? American sports. I mean, this is what people need to wake up to. It's coming from that country. Everything that's happening is coming from that country. And like I said, the majority in the Premier League, I think they're saying they want to do something along the lines of we should have an all-star game before the season starts.
yeah,
You know what they do in America? Same thing like that. See,
yeah.
this is coming. These things are coming, and people don't even like wake up to what's happening around the league. But it
No.
is it's sad. It's really really sad because we lost our identity. Even the FA Cup. What's happened to the FA Cup?
Oh,
I mean, the FA Cup used to be enjoyable. You used to watch it on a Sunday afternoon. Watch them coming from the hotel all the way to the stadium. And nowadays, like it's on a Saturday afternoon, nobody really cares about it that much anymore. Like the tradition is just slowly diminishing, and people can't even see that. It was I don't know about you, Frank, but I used to enjoy the Sunday FA Cup last season, last game of the season, following them from the hotel all the way to the stadium. That tradition, like it was just,
gone.
it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
But you know what? I'll tell you what, Fozzie. I was only talking about this the other day before we played Man United.
Mm,
And I was talking to a couple of friends, and I said, who undermined the FA Cup? And ever since then, I've gone like that. I don't give a toss about
don't
it.
give a
I'm
toss.
the same because of Sunday.
Exactly.
Because what has happened? Man United were playing in Japan somewhere,
Yeah.
in the World Club
After the
Cup.
treble win, yeah, so-called
And
the original treble or something.
yeah, and they walked away from the
Yeah, I
FA Cup.
remember. I remember.
And I forget who they were playing or about. And the FA Cup.
Corinthians, I think they were playing Romario.
No, but that was it. And
Yeah.
they walked away. That undermined the FA Cup.
Yes.
And from then on, it went down.
Yeah.
But as you said, the traditional of Sundays, that was brilliant. Saturdays, Sundays,
Hmm.
everything. And I'll tell you another stupid thing as well, whether you agree or disagree, Fozzie,
Hmm.
is that the semi-finals played at Wembley.
Yeah.
Money spinning, money spinning.
I don't
I used
understand.
to
I don't
go
get
and
it,
listen
Frank.
to
I
that
really don't get
together.
that. Isn't the whole point of reaching a final to go to Wembley to play in Wembley? Isn't that the dream for a player? But you're
Yes,
playing it in the semi-finals, and then you
exactly.
you ruined the dream already. There's no dream for that player
Exactly.
because he's already played at Wembley
Exactly. We used to go to Aston Villa, in
and
semi-final.
Old Trafford.
And Old Trafford, seeing Everton we played when we played Everton in their semis.
Hmm.
There at Old Trafford and main roles as well
Main
in that
roads.
League Cup thing. You know what I mean? It's just nuts. It's
It's
just
dying, Frank.
absolutely nuts. So it's to me, it's lost its value. It's lost its tradition because there's only one final, and that
Yeah.
was at Wembley. But now you get semi-finals at Wembley, and it's all for money spinning. That's all that is.
Yeah. Frank, before we finish with the PGMOL, what do you think? Like, do you think there's still a few twists and turns with them? They're gonna do some more mistakes, so they could have a final day dramatics, like as the whole world can watch, make more money, more people coming to the country, Do you think they're gonna do a final day freeway, something like that? Because I
Yes,
can see that happening.
yes, you know, because there's no getting away from, I call it corruption. I don't care what anyone says. And getting back to that Spurs game when Lucio scored, people say, oh, we were robbed, we were robbed. I said, no, we weren't robbed, we were cheated.
Cheated.
Big difference.
Yeah.
I said, we
100%.
were cheated out of that game. We
Yeah.
were cheated. And that was disgraceful. That. And I'll never get over that.
I can't.
Ever.
I can't.
And if we lose the league by a couple of points,
Oh, it'll be the worst. It's Frank.
Right,
That will kill me. That will kill me, mate. Absolutely ruin me because it's unfair. Do you get what I'm saying, Frank? It's unfair. How can you like win a league by 2 or 1 point when that happens beforehand? I don't know how people can cope. I'm talking about actual Liverpool fans that's passionate about the club, fanatics like myself and you like that. How can you cope with things like that? 1 point loss of a league and you got screwed over in a game like that, which you genuinely scored with 10 men. We scored with 10 men. People forget that we scored with 10 men. And they still disallowed that goal.
Yes.
Yes. Can't.
It's
Frank, yeah, it's a common occurrence. And I keep telling people, these things happen because they do it by purpose. It's blatantly done on your face. I wish people can see what we can see, Frank, because I don't think people see that. These things blatantly happen because they do whatever they want. And they know Liverpool fans ain't going to complain about it. We've complained. Apparently, we've complained enough. We always complain, apparently. So, they're taking us to that limit. So, but for what this team's done this season, Frank, all that screw jobs. We was like 16 games unbeaten run, I believe, when that Spurs game happened, including last season. So, if they win the league this season, what do you think of it? Because I think that is amazing for what they faced.
Shall I tell you? It'll be the greatest title we've ever won, and I'll tell you for why.
Go on.
The amount of injuries we've had.
Yes.
We've had 9 injuries. These are all pivotal players for Liverpool,
It's spot on.
They're still out. But, they'll be back. The likes of Jota will be back, after the Brighton game. Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I had to take it back, Frank. Like, I think this kid, like, it's changed the corner now for me. I was worried about him for a while. I was thinking, like, is he going to get better one day? How long can we wait? To me, he should have been loaned out in the beginning when he was younger, in my opinion. Yeah. Learn the brutal side of the game, like go to the championship, the physical side. Then you could come back, as Bradley did. Look at Bradley, the way he came back from loan. So he could have done something like that. But Klopp kept him around. Now, I don't regret, but at the time I was right. But now the kid, we miss him. We miss him in that midfield. And I can't believe I'm saying that.
Absolutely. You're spot on, and this is the way we're looking now, and we've got Trent to come back. Yeah. Trent is the best passer of a ball in the whole of the Premiership. Incredible. And just imagine when he's back. Just imagine when Jones is back. Jota is the only Liverpool player who's a natural finisher.
Spot on.
A natural finisher. I don't like saying this, but the chances Lucio had the last week, and he would have put one of them away. He would have put 2 of them away.
That's the moment, Frank. Sorry to interrupt, Frank. That's the moment I said I miss Mane in those situations. Mane would have just got it in. You know that, Frank. You know that. I bet you went back as well, thinking if only Mane was still there, that would have been a goal. It's 100%.
Well, I was watching that with my daughter Francine. And she's a big red. She's madder than me, to be honest. And she said, honestly, you know what, Dad? Mane would have got them, I said, I know. And here's what she said, strangely enough, because lots of people are on Lucio's back. And she said, do you know what, Dad? Lucio, she said, Diaz, people are on his back because he's replaced Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
And Sadio Mane scored like 20 goals a season.
Yeah.
And Lucio hasn't.
Yeah.
And that's what she said. And I think
they're not the same player, Frank. They're not the same player. People need to wake up to that. They're not.
Certainly not. And again, when we go back, just a couple of years ago. Just a couple of years.
Couple of years ago.
Like 4 years. And you had the likes of Bobby, false nine. And you had the likes of Mo
Yeah.
and Sadio at the peaks.
Yeah.
You're a defender for anybody, and you've got them coming at you. Think about it.
Pace, power, finesse.
Terrifying.
I said it. Yeah, I said about Mane. He's the best winger I've seen since John Barnes. He's the like at Liverpool in that left side. I mean, and I still stand by that.
Yeah, do you know what? You're not the only one to say it. In fact, a few months ago, a couple of friends, and I have got a couple of friends, they would say exactly the same. He was a one-off, John Barnes. I said that. I said he was a one-off, Barnesy. And they turned around and went like that. But we had Sadio. He took over his mantle. If you know what I mean,
Yeah, we've been waiting for someone like Barnes for years. Like since he left, we haven't seen a left winger like him. Like something close to him. We had Harry Kewells, we had all these Matt Manning, we had all these guys on the left, Downings, but there's no one close to John Barnes, man. Like this guy used to create goals, defend, score set pieces, take set pieces. Like he was just a man. But I wish people saw John Barnes to see how great he was. I just wish that, because the way people talk about him is like he's not a great player. But if you watch what we watched down the years, why I talk about him the way I do, then you realize how good that guy was.
He was incredible, an incredible player. And when he got the ball, he seemed to glide.
He glide past people.
He just glided, and he still had the ball at his feet. And he scored some fantastic goals.
He was Beckham before Beckham with crosses as well. People forget that. His crosses was just for John Aldridge, for Ian Rush, to be at the end of it. And I mean, people forget like how his crosses were. Both footed. He wasn't just left footed. He could kick with his right. Look at the Everton goal in the cup in the top corner. Aston Villa, that top corner again. I mean, people don't understand John Barnes. Like he was just amazing player, man. And a lot of people followed Liverpool because of people like that. That's how good he was. I mean, you only get followed because of the players you got right, Frank, and how great they are. That's what we was talking about, like 2005 onwards, because of Gerrard. This is what it is. John Barnes was the guy from the 80s, man. Peter Beardsley, John Aldridge, Ray Houghton. I mean, Steve McMahon, Ronnie Whelan in the middle. You got Steve Nicol. People underrate that guy as well. A lot of people say he wasn't that good, but if you watch Steve Nicol, I think he got the player of the season. I think he's still I think he's the only fullback that still got the player of the season, right?
I remember him scoring. Was it Aston Villa or someone? Someone anyway, and he ran the full length of the field, away from home, full length, and he just whacked it. What a goal! Bang, Stevie Nicol
scored a hat trick at Newcastle away, as I remember as well. Newcastle away scored a hat trick, didn't he, Stevie Nicol?
Well, that's it. That's the game. That's the game. That's the game. He was, so again another underrated player. Yeah. But what you've got now, you've got so many permutations of great players for Liverpool. But as I say, I still go back to Luis Suarez.
Yeah,
the greatest player ever to throw a red shirt on. But unfortunately, look, he didn't leave. Saying, I'm going to Barca, see you now, I got you there, whatever, got you second. He wanted to stay. Believe that. That's a fact. That's 110% fact. He wanted to play in the Champions League. And you know that Champions League, the following season, I was at the game, and Vicky Lambert was centre forward.
Oh, God.
Game kicked off against Basel. Mighty Basel.
Swiss team, yeah.
And half time came. Vicky Lambert, we only had one forward. Vicky Lambert was kicking off. And then we drew 1-1 and went out. We went out at the Europe, the Champions League by Basel. That was the most. I said then he should be sacked. Then.
The game that really irritated me was Real Madrid away when he put a reserve team out. Yeah, put a reserve team out at Real Madrid, putting Gerrard on the bench and think, you know what? Brendan, man. Like now it shows what kind of manager he is. He's just one dimension. He hasn't got no plan B, plan C. He just plays the Pep Guardiola way, and that is it. And he expects you to win. How can you get a team like Leicester with those players get relegated? I don't get it.
No,
He should never been a Liverpool manager. Never.
never. Said that. I was on LFC TV.
Yeah.
And it was live, sitting at the studio. And Claire Rourke was the front girl, you know, she was the front.
Yeah.
And I was sitting with Jimmy Case, right? So Jimmy's cracker fella. And he went like that. He said,
Legend.
She said to Jimmy, how do you think Brendan will be, you know, the new manager? And he said, oh, yeah, he's going to be great, you know, and all this coming up and all this. And she said to me, do you agree with Jimmy? Fine. And I went, no. I said, he came through. I said, listen, Claire, we won 5 European Cups. 5. With the greatest British side ever. I said, so 5 European Cups. He got through the back door into the Premiership.
Mm-hmm.
He had a season where he avoided relegation.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got no experience whatsoever. And we got him as our manager. And she didn't know what to say. And she said, don't you think that? I said, no, we won't win anything with him.
Exactly. 100%. 100%.
You know when we finished second?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't like this fella. Anyway, he's still on there. Mark Bedstead, whatever his name is. I called him Bedstead.
Oh, the guy on LFC TV. That guy, yeah.
And,
from Sky, I think Sky to LFC TV, yeah.
I was all ashamed to be with Jimmy Case. So there was Jimmy Case. There was that Mark, some fella, a chef, nice fella.
Yeah.
Mark, what's his bloody name? He's on the Sunday brunch or something on Channel 4.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, is it Mark? Anyway, he's a chef.
Mm-hmm.
And,
is he the one who used to be on Soccer AM, that one? Or because he does chef. You mean the baldy guy? He's baldy, isn't it? Yeah. I'll figure out his name, but carry on.
Yeah. And anyway, Simon Rimmer. Simon, his name is.
Yeah.
And anyway, Ian Prowse, the singer, and he was singing, you know, I don't know what he was bloody singing. So we were all sitting on the bench, on the chair, and it was the end of the thing. And Bedstead said, in one word, are we going to win the league? You know, like that. The next performance was Jimmy Case went, yeah. And I went to Simon Rimmer, and he said, yeah. Went to Ian Prowse, and he said, yeah. Said to me, and I went, I doubt it.
As honest as you can be. That's what
and
it is.
That was
you have
the
to.
last time I was on, because they had don't want him on again. Too negative, but it wasn't negative. I was just speaking the truth.
Sense makes sense. You know what it is, Frank? You learn from past mistakes. Like when people ask me about Liverpool, what was the downfall of Liverpool Football Club? I said a lot of people blame Graham Souness, and he regrets it. He's to this day when I spoke to him, like he loves Liverpool. People don't understand that. That's his club, Graham Souness. Like he loves this club through thick and thin. What he said. Do you think the downfall was to do with him getting rid of the senior players too early, or was it just his managerial skills? Was that the issue? And I still think to this day as well. I love Roy Evans, youth team manager. He was great in the boot room, everything like that. Ex-Liverpool player, left back, great, and all that stuff. But he was too nice. He was too nice as a manager as well. But I'll speak to him. Let's speak about Graham Souness. That we could speak about Roy Evans. What do you think of Graham Souness?
Okay. Suey, now, a lot of people were screaming at him because of the Sun newspaper. You know, he sold the story.
Yeah.
Now, Suey, I'm telling you now, a mate of his, who's a journalist, he said, listen, give me their story, you know. And he went, yeah, all right. He was a freelance journalist. He wasn't working for a newspaper.
Yeah.
And he gave him a story. And the journalist, who was a friend of his, gave it to the Sun. And he hasn't spoken to that man ever since. Because
Wow.
the likes of Suey got lambasted over it and still does, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you mentioned Peter Beardsley.
Mm-hmm.
He got rid of Peter Beardsley. That was a terrible, terrible mistake. Not only that, but he also got rid of the boot room.
Yeah.
The boot room. And what else he did? Like the lads used to have a decent breakfast or a decent meal, whatever. Right. And he came out with his diet. Now, don't forget, he goes, I come from Italia. And he started to get them pasta. Well, lads said, what's this? Never had pasta, you know what I mean? Well, I'm half Italian anyway, so I do know I've grown up with pasta. But lads, you know, even a couple of fellas, like neighbours, my little mates at school and everything else, they never ever had any pasta. I did. Because they don't know. So these footballers, you know.
Yeah.
So a change your diet. So it just started to, you know, crumble a little, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Liverpool at the time when Suey took over. And don't forget, he had a bypass, didn't he?
Yeah, and he came to the final, didn't he? I think Ronnie Moran took the team out, didn't he? And he came after, I think, and he sat on the chairs. I remember against Sunderland, yeah. When Marcus Thomas scored that goal, Ian Rush. Yeah.
He had his arms around him, didn't he? And he won the FA Cup against Sunderland. You know, so, yeah, you know, as soon as he made terrible mistakes, and it was unfortunate that he did. But I think one of the biggest mistakes was the not the story to the folks as a son, but it was getting rid of Peter Beardsley.
Do you think we should have given Kenny 6 months, Frank, that off that he wanted? Because he came back straight away, didn't he, to Blackburn afterwards, didn't he? He took 6 months off, I think, and he came back to Blackburn, didn't he? Do you think we should have just let Ronnie Moran take over for a bit, and then he comes back and takes over when he has his rest? Because he went to all 96 funerals, didn't he, Kenny?
He went to every funeral,
even the recent one as well, hasn't he? He's gone to the 97 as well.
Yeah, the 97. I'm in a documentary, funny enough, and I mentioned that. I don't mention Kenny. I'm on a documentary called Scouse Not English. Why is Liverpool so different from the rest of the country? And I'm in that talking about I'm a survivor, you see.
Yeah.
So I talk about Hillsborough. And it really gets to me. I'll tell you another thing. Do you know, like, You Never Walk Alone? That's our anthem. If there's no other anthem, football anthem like it, I can't sing it. Because every
team in the world talks about it, Frank. Every team in the world talks about that. Every team, even some teams use it, like Dortmund, you know, and teams like that from Germany and that stuff.
Yeah, but you know, I can't sing it because when I start to sing it, what comes before my eyes is 97.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I just joke up because I'll never ever get over that. I'll never get over what was happening.
Yeah,
and
the lies after that as well. You know what I mean? Like
the cover up. I'll talk about that as well.
It's horrible.
I've done loads of things about it, you know. But try and catch that on YouTube. I think you'd enjoy it. I think it's just about Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
You know,
I do watch a lot of stuff from Liverpool. That's how I learn my stuff. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not from the city, but you know, in order for you to support Liverpool, in my opinion, you have to learn about the history about Liverpool, you know, in general. And then this is why, you know, when the management they come to Liverpool, they don't have to just manage the team, they have to manage the city. You know what I mean? And this is
There you
why
go.
Klopp is the way he is. That's why people love him. That's why people don't want him to leave either. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah, so
shows.
you can have it up here, Foz. No
Hmm?
problem. You can stay here.
Oh, my
And you
sister
can,
lives there. My sister lives there.
oh, does she?
Yeah, she
Oh,
lives in
well,
Toxteth. Yeah.
don't
That's
forget.
why I come to Liverpool more often. I take my nephews. They invited me for the, you know, the unveiling the newsstand. They had a
Oh,
few
yeah.
fans. Yeah, I took my nephews and my wife then there. Yeah, they
Oh,
invited me
nice
there.
one. Yeah,
Yeah, it was very
you
nice.
know, I'll get
Yeah,
you the address.
we made history. So if anyone
Yeah.
says like, "What have you done for Liverpool?" Well, we was part of that stand when they tried fans on it. So we done it. We done it. But yeah, Frank, I want to ask you this question. Like, you look at our fixtures. A lot of people are saying we've got easier fixtures than the other two in the Premier League. We've got obviously two home games, Brighton and Sheffield United, and you know Brighton is normally a difficult game.
Oh,
We always drop points. We always get draws. I don't know why. And then you got Sheffield United. Can these two games like give us more leverage, like get more goals, more get the wins on the board?
okay. The two games are pivotal.
Yeah,
These two home games are pivotal. If we win them first and foremost,
yeah,
but if the good results as well,
yeah.
it'll go for goal difference. So we've got to get it up there.
Okay.
I reckon. I reckon that Liverpool do have the only hard game that we've got, and we have to look out for,
Yeah.
is at Goodison Park and Everton.
That's the postponed game, isn't it? Because of the FA Cup, as
Yeah,
far as I'm
but
aware. Yeah,
if it's going to the
it's not
last
on there.
gasp of the
Yeah.
season, that's the only thing I'm afraid of. But
Hmm.
if you want my prediction, Liverpool are going to win the league. Shall I tell you why?
Go on.
I'll tell you for why.
Hmm.
Did you see Klopp after the Man United game?
We mean when he's having a go at the press and that.
No, right after it, did you see his
I
face?
did. I did. I had to go to work. I didn't see the.
He was fuming.
Wow.
He was fuming. He's gone into those lads, into the dressing room, and he's had hell with them.
Wow.
And those lads are not stupid.
Hmm.
They will have learned their lesson. I'm telling you now, because I'm being honest. When I seen that team, I said, we've stuffed these.
Mm.
But what I did say as well at the same time, I hope we don't become too complacent.
Yeah.
Then I go back to the Prague game,
Hmm.
and up there, sitting in the stands again.
Hmm.
And when I seen the team, I turned around and said, why have we picked this team?
Yeah.
Why? We're 5-1 up with our own.
Hmm.
And yet we're picking up, players that should be rested.
Yeah.
And when I seen Virgil come on, I couldn't believe it. I said, what's he coming on for? And we were a bit leggy.
Yeah.
We were a bit leggy against Man United.
Yeah.
And that was it. So I think Jurgen made a couple of terrible errors. And the substitutions against Man U as well.
Oh,
Dreadful.
Frank, I said it was bad management, bad coaching. I said straight away. I
And
said
I'm
that
glad,
is bad management. What I saw there. I said I love Klopp. It's not because he's leaving. I'm saying this, but what he did in that game, it was just you're 2-1 up, Frank. You're 2-1 up. The game, you're taking the threat off. So when the threat is taken off, what happens with the other team? They get that confidence to progress, and that's what happened.
well,
You
I,
take the.
I watched it on the telly. I won't go to that United. So, and when I've always said this, Fozzy.
Hmm.
No matter how you look at Mo Salah, and Mo Salah You have to, if he's having an indifferent game, if he's
Yeah.
playing terrible or whatever, Mo Salah is likely to score in any minute of that game.
Spot on. Spot on.
Any minute. Whether it's
It's
the
like,
first
would you take
minute or
Kenny off? It's like, would you take Kenny off? Would you take Gerrard off? You know what I mean? Players like
exactly,
that. That's how he
exactly,
impacts the team.
exactly. And I'm sorry to say this, I don't like picking on anyone. I really don't. And Gakpo, you know, he was a waste of time. And I said to myself,
Hmm.
if I would have been bringing on anybody, I would have brought young Dan's on.
Yeah.
Because Dan's, he's going to be phenomenal, that lad.
You know what I said, Frank? You might agree with me or disagree with this one. I said he reminds me of Harry Kane, the way he plays, the way he runs, the way he moves. You could see. Actually, I watched him in the youth. That's what I did, Frank. I watched him in the youth, and I looked at. You know what I look at? I used to play, so I used and I look at the players, the way they move and all that stuff. He moves like Harry Kane. He runs like Harry Kane, and he finishes like Harry Kane, and he can take set pieces like Harry Kane as well. And people don't even know that, Frank. People don't even know that.
This is our old school, you see, because we can see the potential. We can see the potential of one of the lads went there. Yeah, he is, isn't he? He's not. He's like him. He's like him. But he said he's better looking than Harry, though, isn't he?
Yes,
That's the only difference, he says, you know.
Frank, I was just shocked, honestly, when I saw him play. I said, it's just everything he does. And I just tweeted it straight away. You could look down my tweets. It was before he even played against Norwich, sorry, it was Southampton, before you even playing against them. I did this, and a lot of people clocked onto that, and everybody like started retweeting and looking at it. And it's just everything about him. The way I was just shocked. The way he runs, the way he moves, it's just same. And I said, this kid's got a future. He's just signed a new contract, didn't he, recently? A long-term contract. So I'm looking forward to this kid. I was wondering you know what made me think I have to look at this kid was the League Cup final when he came on. Why is Klopp bringing him on? Why is he doing that? There's other players who could bring on. Why is he bringing this youngster? Then I looked back after the game and I said, fuck it, we've got to play on our hands here. We've got to play. And he's a scouser. I mean, his dad's a scouser. His dad's an ex-player as well. So that passion is there. This is the next generation. And this is what I want to go to as well, Frank. Who would be your next manager before we leave? That's what I want to know.
Can I just mention something about young Dan's?
Yeah.
When he came on against Chelsea. The heads that he put in, you could see the way he put his head back and he hit it, didn't he? And that goal he had to make, I forget his name, and he made a fantastic save from the lads, and he'd only come on.
Yeah.
He'd only come on. So our next manager, did you say? What's he going to be? Or who
do you want it to be? That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? From your, I'm humbled by your presence. You know what I mean? I want to see, like, who do you think should be the next manager of Liverpool Football Club?
We need someone who's got the nous of Liverpool.
Yeah.
We need someone who knows the fans of Liverpool.
Yeah.
We've got somebody, get somebody who knows the city.
Yeah.
Who knows the passion.
Yeah.
Who knows more or less every inch of the ground and pitch.
Yeah.
And there's only one man who fulfill that particular criteria. And it's none other than Xabi Alonso.
What's the percentage you think like we could get him? Like a lot of people saying he's Bayern Munich bound, but I don't see that. I think I look at the person and what he suits. You know what I mean? And he's more suitable to Liverpool Football Club. Bayern Munich need a reconstruction, as they say. They need to get players in. They need to get rid of a lot of players. They need instant success as well. But Liverpool, he's got from the under-9s all the way to the senior team. He's got a structure there in place already. Marco Edwards coming back, you know what I mean, as well. So he's got everything that a manager. This club just needs a manager, just to take it to the next level. It's like if you look at Bill Shankly when he left, Bob Paisley came, an ex-player, ex-left back, and then what happened next. Those draws, those extra time stuff could be winnable with the next manager in normal time, like 90 minutes. So this is what I see when I'm looking at Xavi Alonso. I don't think he's gonna go to Bayern Munich. I think people need to like put that aside. I think
No,
he's more drawn to Liverpool than Bayern.
absolutely. I'll tell you for why. I'll tell you. He's built up a total respect from the Leverkusen fan base. They respect him. He could lose all that respect and everything in one fell swoop if he goes
Exactly.
to Bayern. It's
Exactly.
like Jurgen Klopp. Think about
Yeah.
this. Think about this, please.
Hmm.
Jurgen Klopp said when he leaves, he won't manage another English club. Imagine him doing this.
Hmm.
Now, don't forget, he's got a fantastic legacy.
Yeah.
Imagine him taking over Ten Hag in a year's
Hmm.
time.
Oh,
What would happen? What would his legacy be?
he'll be gone.
It's exactly. It's like
It's
Michael
like
Owen.
Michael Owen. Yeah.
It's just like him. Now, Michael Owen was fantastic for us. You had the 2001 Owen Cup final
Yeah.
at Cardiff. I was there, and what a lad! 2 goals, unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was his cup final.
Yeah.
Problem is, that's it. No one takes any notice of him.
Yeah.
Nobody takes any notice of him. But could
It
you
only took one move.
imagine?
Yeah. Sorry, it only took one move from Owen, like going to Old Trafford, that just cut him off.
That was it. He's cut, yeah. That's it. And, obviously, I live in Liverpool.
Hmm.
And you get the vibes and everything here.
Yeah.
You get the vibes. You get little things.
Mm.
Because I knew all about this particular bust up with Jurgen, and that's why he's leaving
Yeah.
as well. You think about this. All his backroom staff is leaving.
Yeah.
Every single one of them
Hmm.
leaving. You've got to ask why. Because even Pep Linders, I didn't want Linders as a manager, I'm being honest.
Hmm.
So he's going to Ajax. Now, if 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 the transition was he was just leaving, he was fed up. Jurgen,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jurgen was just leaving.
Yeah.
Pep Linders would have jumped at the at the Liverpool job.
Yeah.
He would have jumped at it.
Of course.
But what he's come out and said, and everybody else, no, we're all loyal. Think about it. Without saying too much, you've got to look at the language of some people. And he said, we're all loyal to Jurgen. That's
Yeah.
why we're all leaving. Who's that? Big up Frank.
That's hefty. He's from Twitter X. Yeah. His mummy
That's
is
funny
a
on my
good guy.
phone.
They know you. They know you, Frank. They know you. Don't worry. Yeah.
Frank.
But yeah, you're right. Like I was thinking there's got to be something behind it, Frank, for them all to leave at the same time. They must either Michael Edwards was coming back early than we thought, because Michael Edwards and Klopp don't get along. We know
No.
that. Maybe they've been told we need a new CEO. Mark Gordon doesn't want to do it anymore, and Michael Edwards is coming back. And then Klopp said, maybe it's time to go. I mean, but like
Well,
you said, how
you
many
are
times in history did you ever see the coaching staff and the manager, everybody go together at once? That never
you
happens.
are good because this has been going on. FSG have been trying to get Edwards back since last year
Look at
before
that.
the season started. Think about it.
Hmm. I
Think
thought
about
so. I was thinking about it. Like he's just come back and they're leaving. Sudden, it's a sudden left, and
it.
Klopp, Frank. Klopp. He's a very loyal man. He doesn't he doesn't beat around the bush with things like that. He normally honors his contracts when it's coming to the end, and all of a sudden, like he's saying, it's time to go. Like, I mean, there must be something happening behind the scenes.
Absolutely. You love Liverpool Football Club,
Mm.
and I do. I do.
It's all right.
Grew up with them,
Mhm.
loved them. Now Klopp is like me. He's like you, Fozzie. He's like all these people on here who love the club, and he's leaving. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think
It's
about
strange. It's strange. I think, Frank, we was discussing before all this nonsense extension to his contracts. I remember that's what we was discussing before all this stuff came. We were saying like, maybe Klopp can extend extra like 3 years on top and end his
that.
career at
Right?
Liverpool. We was discussing that as well. I'm
Yeah,
sure we was doing something like along those lines.
we were. We were. It's not only that, but his wife as well. His wife loves Liverpool.
Hmm. Yeah.
Love. Do you know? Yeah, there's something for you. Do you know
Go
Xabi
on.
Alonso's little boy?
Yeah.
Was born here. Well, he's not a little boy anymore.
Yeah.
And do you know what he said
Go
last
on.
year to his dad? Hey, Dad, can we go back to Liverpool? Think about
not,
that.
not surprised at all. Not surprised at all.
You know,
Yeah.
you know.
Frank, it's been a great show. I really enjoyed it. You're always welcome here, mate. I mean, anytime I'm on, if you wanna come on, just let me know.
Yeah,
I'll give you
and
my
you
details
and me as well. You
after
and
this.
me.
I appreciate that. Well, as you can see, people, Frank wants Xavi Alonso as the manager. So I've been like, I was, thinking about it. I was saying he hasn't got enough experience, but the guy is doing a phenomenal job at Leverkusen. And as I said, Bob Paisley didn't have experience when he managed Liverpool, and look where where that ended up. I
Joe
mean,
Fagan,
Joe Fagan as well. There you go.
Kenny
Ex
Dalglish,
players,
Kenny
yeah.
Dalglish.
Kenny
But you know,
Dalglish, my favorite manager, still to this day. I'll never
see,
figured
they
that.
all had an affiliation with the club.
Mhm.
Every one of them
Yeah,
had an affiliation with the
spot
club.
on, spot
And
on.
Xabi Alonso, I'm telling you now, I'll
Hmm.
tell you something now. It's nails
Hmm.
on, by the way. I'll just leave you with that.
Yeah. I
That is
love that, Frank. I love that. Um, Please go and see this show. You can see on the screen. I done it with Tarmizi yesterday. It was a brilliant show. We was discussing obviously the game against Man United. You know how good it was in the beginning, and the downfall after that. So he's a very knowledgeable Liverpool fan. He's always supportive as well. So please go and check that video out. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'll be back tonight doing it with these guys again. Let's talk LFC episode 49. We're going to discuss obviously Michael Edwards coming back and FSG, and plus I want to do this new thing as well, which I want to talk about the greatest players in each show I do. This one, so this time is Maradona, and we're going to discuss Maradona as a player and what he's done in the game. And then after that, I'll choose someone else. And of course, Klopp leaving, we're going to discuss as well. And what's next for Liverpool? It's been brilliant, Frank. Where can people find you, mate? Please let them know, because I can't believe the subscription in your one. I'm really, really not happy about that. And you you deserve much, obviously more. So please let them know.
But you know,
And please, people, retweet this as well. Retweet this if you can on Twitter. Go on, Frank. Sorry
yeah.
about that.
No, but YouTube, they
Mhm.
take. I'm on YouTube, you see.
Yeah.
YouTube take subscriptions off for some reason, and someone
Yeah,
said,
it's
and
weird.
it's not only on that, it's
Yeah.
on not only on football or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
on everything. It's on political like streams and whatever.
Yeah.
It's so that YouTube know who's resubscribing. They want to
Yeah.
see that they are still with YouTube, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's why they do it. They take, so I don't know.
But the
Maybe
thing is,
so.
Frank, like I do it for a reason of Liverpool Football Club. I don't do it for anything else. I see people like they do YouTube as a job or something like that, and they will be controversial. They will even go at the box to get the subscribers and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But if you want to talk about Liverpool Football Club and find out what our club is all about, it's me and you. We're that type of people that talk about Liverpool Football Club that way. And yeah, please, you can see his channel on the screen right there. Please go and subscribe to him. Get him to the 1,000 as soon as possible, and beyond that. I hope. Yeah, Frank, it's been great, man. It's been
Thank you so
historic. It's been, and I'm glad you said like we're gonna win the league, because a lot of people, because the decisions we get, they're very, you know, they think we're gonna get a screw job along the way, as we did in the past. You know, the 1 point seasons. We look at the one in the first one. The one that I look at is that Leicester game at home. Remember, it was all
Yeah.
icy on the pitch.
Yeah.
Maguire should have got sent off when he took out Mane last man. Remember that? And then Naby Keita got fouled inside the box. No penalty from Martin Atkins, as I remember.
That
So
was mad, yeah.
that was the craziest game ever. And not only that, Maguire scored after that. You know what I mean? When he should have been sent off.
Should have gone.
It's crazy.
The old man opened the score, and didn't he?
Yeah, bottom corner.
Yeah.
I was in Rome. I was in Rome that day as well. I was watching it from Rome. You know, Liverpool are everywhere. You could find Liverpool places anywhere to watch Liverpool. It's crazy. When I was at Barcelona, there's a place I could watch Liverpool. We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, this club's underestimated. I'm telling you right now.
Well, you mentioned Maradona there. Did you know Maradona became a big Liverpool fan after Istanbul?
Really? Wow.
Yeah, he said that's the greatest final or football game I've ever seen, and that Liverpool, and he fell in love with the fans.
Wow.
Singing, he said he couldn't get over them singing at half time. You know, being 3-0 down.
It's crazy. You know the game that convinced me recently, like what the fan power can do? It was that Luton game at home. It was 1-0 down, Frank. I was there, and I said, why are they still singing? We're not playing. We're playing bad. We can't even hit the goal. We didn't even hit the target for about 35 minutes or something. All of a sudden, the fans started singing. The Luton players started making misplaced passes. The manager couldn't get his instructions into the pitch. He said after the game, as I remember, the Luton manager, he said, like, these fans just suck the ball into the net. That's what he said. It's crazy. Like, I can't believe that fans can actually do that to another team. I'm convinced now. Like, I'm not messing with Liverpool fans anymore in that one.
No, I always remember Kyle Walker when we beat them 3-0. Manchester City in the Champions League. Down here, then we went up there and beat them 2-1, you know, went on to the final. I'll never forget what he said. He said, I've never heard a roar or the passion from any fans since I've been playing football. He said, it frightened me. That's what he said. When he
he's never won at Anfield, has he? I swear he said he's never won at Anfield. So there you go.
No.
There you go. Yeah, Frank. That's the end of the show. Obviously, Uncle Albert asked about Gakpo. I don't blame Gakpo. You know what I mean? Like, the kid, in my opinion, the issue I have with him is he's a victim of his own ability, which is playing multiple positions. He hasn't got a set position. If he had a set position, and we could judge him, I know, Frank. I know. But if he had a set position, I think we could judge him more. But him playing as a central midfielder, right winger, a striker, a left wing, it's just confusing the kid. And, you know, like, he comes off the bench every time now. So we've got to take it easy on him. I think there's talent there. There's talent there.
I understand that. But you've got to look and search with your own heart. You know, is he the level that we need?
Yeah.
You know, you've got to look at it like that. That's all. You know, I've got nothing against the lads, and I felt sorry for him. I brought my granddaughter, my 11-year-old granddaughter, for the first time. You know, to the game against Southampton. Yeah. And I was in the you know, the newsstand. Yeah. And it was right above the tunnel, and they never shout or anything. You know, understand? And you know what she said to me, Fozzie? Granddad, I said, what? She said, why are you always shouting? I said, well, that's what you do at matches. She said, but these are not shouting.
That's funny. That's absolutely funny.
Lads, you know, but this is it. This is Liverpool fans. This is your, you know, all your lads and girls who are coming on here, commenting, you know, they're great. We're just great. We're great fans. There's
nothing like Liverpool fans, I swear to you. Anyway, like I said to you, even when I go to New York, I go to Carragher's. I don't know if you've been there. Carragher's, I go down there. Those places are just full up. When the game is on, it doesn't matter what time it is, just full up to the rafters. It's amazing. You know, like, it's a blessing supporting Liverpool. Let's just put it that way. It ain't. people won't know until you support this football club what it's like. You know what I mean, Frank? They don't know. They don't know.
It's the
They don't know.
camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's
They
the
don't know.
love we show each other.
Yeah.
This is what it says. You know, people don't believe it.
No, they don't.
We show so much respect and love for our fellow supporters. That's what it is. It's the camaraderie.
Yeah.
And you see that on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Look at when we, you know, at the ends of every game, you see our players going onto the field.
Everywhere. All the stands. Yeah.
Everywhere.
And yeah, it's nothing like that. Yes, people. Frank, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to speak to you after this. So I'm just going to end it here. Players need to sign.
All right, Dan, I'll leave you. I'll let you talk to your people.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Don't go. I got 5 minutes with you. Just don't go anywhere. 1 second. Yes, people. We're done here. I hope you enjoyed that. You know, please go and subscribe to Frank Carlisle's channel. The more subscription for him, obviously, the better for the channel. And you know, retweet, do whatever you can. Play your part. It's all free, people. I mean, you don't need to pay a single penny here. You know what I mean? So please do that for us. I hope you enjoyed the show, because I have. I've enjoyed the show. It was going through history and obviously talk about the current team and talk about Jurgen Klopp, Marco Edwards, and etc. So, yeah, I'll see you later on tonight, hopefully, with the gang. We're gonna do another show. Obviously, Let's Talk LFC episode 49. So let's do that. Yeah, I'll see you soon, people. Take care, everybody.